continuing to support our work. And another quick bit of housekeeping, in case you're new, a quick shout out to my fellow not-for-profit leadership team co-chairs. They include Dawn Doherty from the Society for the Prevention of Teen Suicide, Sally Glick from CLA, Joe Perez, who's on the meeting with us this morning from Witham, Smith & Brown, and Gary Pollock from GoMo Health. And now a quick word from NJBIA.
Thank you, Mary, and good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for supporting this council and attending today. I'm Betty Boris, and I'm the Chief Member Strategy Officer here at BIA. And as Mary mentioned, the session is being recorded, and everyone will receive an email later this week with the recording. Depending on what time we finish today, we might have some time for networking. So if you have time at the end of the presentation, I'd like to stick around to meet some of those in the chat, feel free to do that. We're so thrilled to see this group assist our many not-for-profit members and continue to foster collaboration with their corporate members. We're happy to have a strong leadership team guiding the way. For those of you who are new to NJBIA, we're the largest statewide business association in the country, representing about 1 million jobs in the state, which is about 1/4 of our workforce, and offering customer development opportunities, visibility through events, magazine ads, our podcast and TV shows, and money-saving discounts on stuff you're probably already paying for, like payroll, healthcare, a 401k solution, HR support, and training. If you're interested in more information on us, I'll drop the website in the chat along with my contact information. Feel free to be in touch and we can get you whatever you need. And also feel free to drop your contact information in the chat, just in case your next great connection is here in the Zoom. And one last reminder to switch your view from gallery to speaker. The directions to do that are already in the chat. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Mary. Thanks, Mary.
Thank you, Betty. So the NFP Council is comprised of non-for-profit and business leaders of all backgrounds, and we get together and we engage in meaningful dialogues. We share some successful practices, and then we develop programs that support strategic growth within New Jersey. During the session, we invite you to please place any questions you may have in the chat box, and we'll put them all together and then pose them back to the speaker after the presentation. So just make sure you put your questions in the chat because we'll be collating them, and at the end we'll bring them all up. Also, please feel free to add to the chat your name and the contact information again so that we can continue to network afterwards. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our speaker.
Good morning, everyone.
This is Roxanne. I'm so proud to introduce Roxanne Camejo. She is our Senior Vice President and Community Development Officer at Lakeland Bank. Roxanne's going to tell you about so many resources that your local bank can provide and why they might be one of your best partnerships. And I can speak to that personally. There's so many wonderful resources and relationships at the local banks that could be of value to everyone, including training, support for volunteers, support of fundraising events, resources for your organization, as well as potentially the people you serve. They can be truly invaluable partnerships. And with that, I will turn it back over to you, Roxanne, and so look forward to hearing all your wisdom this morning.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mary. Thank you, New Jersey BIA, for this opportunity to speak today and share the resources that are available to nonprofit organizations throughout the state of New Jersey. I'm excited to be here. Did want to share my slide. This is my contact information and my phone number. I am the Community Development Officer for Lakeland Bank. And Lakeland Bank, it's been around since 1969. We have 68 branches throughout the state of New Jersey, with 1 branch up in Orange County, New York. So just wanted to share a little bit about myself, right? I work for a financial institution, in the financial institution for over 15 years. So what do I know about nonprofits, right? And what kind of resources can we provide? So graduating college, my first job was working for a nonprofit. I'm not going to say what nonprofit because I love all nonprofits, right? Everyone is special because they have all different programs that we love to support and be part of, right? So working those 6 years, I realized the importance of supporting nonprofits and the importance of the different programs that nonprofits had, right? And how we wear multiple hats every day at a non-for-profit. So I thought it was important when leaving the nonprofit world to stay in a business that still worked with nonprofits. I didn't want to stray too far from the nonprofit world, and I entered the community development world. And that's where I continued my relationships with nonprofits in a different role. And that role at Lakeland Bank is really to be the liaison between the nonprofit organizations and the financial institution, and kind of bring both worlds together, and to make sure that we can work together to achieve the goals that each of us have. At Lakeland Bank, our mission is to inspire and enable communities to serve and to achieve the financial stabilities and success. That is something that we strive for. And we want to empower our customers to succeed in every aspect of their financial lives, right? So this is how we can continue to work with nonprofit organizations. So thank you again today for, not skipping the bank and joining the information I'm going to provide you today with. So what do we see here in this particular slide? You see on the bottom right-hand side, our branch in Perth Amboy. We have an amazing branch in Perth Amboy located at 145 Fayette Avenue in Perth Amboy. And we had a small business event. This is after COVID. We are welcoming individuals back into our branches and hosting seminars in person. So this was after hours, after the branch was closed. We were able to get over 20 small business owners at our branch to just hear about what kind of opportunities, what kind of programs our bank is able to provide a small business owner. We thought to invite a Chamber of Commerce to that event so they can talk and how they can network with that small business owner along with the financial institution. We also brought in RBAC, which is a micro lender. And the micro lender offers loans that sometimes financial institutions cannot do. We didn't see them as a competition. We saw them as a partner. And that's what we try to do in some of these events that we host in our branches. And on the left side of the screen, you'll see us at a nonprofit organization. Their organization is called Housing Partnership, and they're located in Dover, New Jersey. And in this picture, you'll see Robert Donoso. He is our community development loan officer, and he's required to go out and do workshops in English and Spanish. He's bilingual, and he's able to speak about homeownership and the process of getting a mortgage. So Housing Partnership is a great organization in Morris County that provides this free service to their community, and Lakeland Bank is able to support them. We have someone sitting on their board. Actually, she is the chair of the Housing Partnership, one of our employees at Lakeland Bank. So this is just two examples in how the community development team hosts seminars and webinars on different financial literacy topics, including budgeting, buying a house, credit, and more. So this is just one example. I'll be able to provide you guys a list of the different topics in another slide, but I did want the opportunity to share with you guys right now that we have an event coming up actually tomorrow on October 18th at 5:30 in our Hackensack location. That's 9 Polyfly Road. And the event is in person, and it's called Show Me Your Money. What does that mean? Show me your money. Pretty much Lakeland Bank partner with a local organization called the American Dream Program of Bergen County, not the American Dream Mall. This is the American Dream Program. And what the American Dream Program offers is $55,000 to first-time home buyers if they're purchasing in the county of Bergen County, right? So it's a big event that we're having in our branch. There's tons of parking in our Hackensack location. We know that's very important to the community. So if you are available, guys, we will post a link of all the events that we have in the chat box. If you know someone that's interested in purchasing a home in Bergen County, this is one event that we're having in our Hackensack location. So we hope to have a great turnout so we can talk about what we offer, but also most importantly, talk about what the community is offering in Bergen County. So how do we make a difference? I mentioned it briefly in the last slide that some of our associates sit in non-for-profits boards. And I used to sit at a non-for-profit board. For 6 years, I sat in the Habitat for Humanity board of directors. In the last 3 years, I sat as their chair. And it was an amazing experience for me, but I also had the backing of my organization. I had the backing of Lakeland Bank to support the activities the team builds and going out and building the home, and also the financial support of supporting the affordable housing aspect of what Habitat for Humanity does at Bergen County. So what you see in these pictures is different organizations, different associates participating in events throughout our footprint. So it is important from top down at Lakeland Bank that we serve our community through sitting on boards, sitting on a committee, participating at an event like a golf outing or a 5K, and we will discuss the different programming that we support in following slide. So this is important for us, and I wanted to share these pictures and how we bring our staff to your organization to support your causes. And this is why it's important to have that communication with us, right? We want to make sure that the nonprofits feel comfortable to come to our local branch and communicate with their needs, or to come and contact myself or my coworker, Lana Molina, who we work in the community development department. So support to all our directors of development out there. This is what we support. We support organizations that really try to help financial independence, right? If you're providing some skills in regards to financial education to your community, your neighborhoods, this is something that we could support. Also, we support homelessness solutions, affordable housing. If these are some of your pillars in your nonprofit organization, please reach out to us and we can discuss on how we can support you. Educational program, offering financial literacy or cybersecurity skill sets. Again, that's important. You can kind of hear the same message across, right? Education in what we support. Health and well-being services, this is important to us as well. Youth programs. I also sit currently on the board of Junior Achievement, which is a great non-for-profit organization in the state of New Jersey that offers financial literacy education to the youth. This starts as young as 5th grade up to high school. And there's several other financial institutions that sit on that board, but their mission is phenomenal. And this is one of the reasons we support them. Emergency services is another big topic for us at Lakeland Bank, food, shelter, and clothing. During COVID, we immediately started providing funds to food pantries. We knew the need of having food was very important during that time frame, especially at the very beginning of COVID. So Lakeland Bank stepped up immediately and was able to donate funds to support the local food pantries throughout the footprint that we are located at. And we also participate in community events. You know, I mentioned earlier a golf outing, but if you're hosting a 5K, or if you're doing something within the community, we're there. But it's joint, right? We need to communicate for us to be able to work with you, right? And there are so many nonprofits that I could reach out to, but we come to these types of opportunities, like being here in this webinar today. I'm hoping to reach nonprofits that maybe we don't have a relationship with, and that we can start that conversation. Because as much as a donation is important, and believe me, I know a donation is very important to all nonprofits, but also us being part of your nonprofit, maybe serving on a board or sitting on a committee. We want to be more than just a checkbox or a check, right? We want to be able to serve you and understand your community. And I think that's the message that I really wanted to come across today in talking to everyone here. So these are other ways we could come in. And I want you guys to also think about not just your neighborhoods and your community, but think about your staff, right? Your staff might need some education on budgeting, or maybe your staff member is interested in purchasing a home for the first time, or any of these other topics that you see listed here. In this photo that you see on the right, on the upper hand is us at a real estate agency. You know, our outreach doesn't just stop at non-for-profits. We also are members of the African American Chamber of Commerce. We're members of the statewide Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, because we see the need to outreach and educate not just people who are looking to fix their credit, but also entrepreneurs. During COVID, there were so many entrepreneurs that weren't able to sustain their small business. So now's the time to educate them and to be part of that solution for them. So let me go through the list of the different presentations that we offer. Scam presentations for senior. Lakeland Bank is located in Cedar Crest, which is a senior community assisted living. And we noticed that there was an issue with fraud going on there. These seniors were getting pop-ups on their laptops to say, click here for more information. And these seniors would click here, and then somebody would steal all of their information. So our local branch found out about that and immediately asked us if we can go out and do a presentation to educate those seniors, to make sure that they're aware that they have to be careful with personal information, because they were just giving it away. They were asking for their social security number and they gave it away. Yes, in 2023, some seniors didn't know that they shouldn't give their personal information away. So we stepped up and we went and we educated them 2 times. And the second time they recorded us. So now we are on replay with these seniors at Cedar Crest to make sure that they're aware of the different scams that are out there right now today in the community. We also go over credit. You know, there's always a huge topic on understanding your credit. What is a good credit score? What isn't a good credit score? How long does bankruptcy stay on my credit report? You know, can I buy a house after filing bankruptcy? Yes, you can, as long as you continue to do the hard work and keeping your credit clean. So we do have a presentation on that. Money management, this is something, you know, anyone could use, right? Especially with the holidays around the corner. You want to make sure that you don't overspend. So this is one way for us to come out and educate, again, not just your community, but your staff members. You might hear that your staff members are having issues in budgeting. Why don't you call the experts, right? We'll come out and do a presentation, talk to you about money management. We offer first-time homebuyer webinars every 3rd Wednesday of the month. During COVID, we couldn't go out and do presentations in person, right? So just like everyone did, and I know everyone's tired of the word, but we pivoted, right? We decided to start doing webinars like the rest of the world. And we were able to put something on the calendar every month. Every 3rd Wednesday of the month, we have a live mortgage loan officer at 6 o'clock to talk about the steps to home ownership, to talk about what documents you need in buying a house. So again, every 3rd Wednesday of the month, that is available to you. We talk about mortgage, life insurance. Life insurance wasn't a big topic before COVID, but during COVID, it was. We had nonprofit agencies come to us and ask us, can you please talk about life insurance, and that not all life insurance need to be $250,000. Some life insurances can be $10,000, $15,000, right? You know, a lot of communities during COVID were doing, trying to get people to send money because someone passed away, and life insurance would cover that. So we had to talk about life insurance and smaller policies to some of the communities and some of the nonprofits that ask us to come out. Customer banking services, business banking services, and of course, financial literacy. We do financial literacy for the youth. We have presentations for 5th graders up to high school. We work with the presentations that our regulators provide on their website, as well as what marketing provides. All right. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, this is a topic I know that NJBIA has discussed. Now, Lakeland Bank also participates, and I am actually a member of the DEI task force here at Lakeland Bank. Lakeland Bank is an equal opportunity employee, right? And we believe in diversity, and what we've created through the task force is our African American employee resource group. We call it ABLE. We are in the middle of a merger. That's why you see Provident Women and Provident Veterans on this slide as well. As once we merge, we will have those additional employee resource groups available. During these resource groups, they also have something that I think is great, is that they offer outreach. So these groups go out into the community and serve the community. This is another way for Lakeland Bank to go out and serve your nonprofit organization. So Lakeland Bank Grant Program, I mentioned it earlier before, and I think it's important for me to kind of mention it again. Like, what have we done, right? We created back in 2018 a new grant program, which, guys, I know you're going to be excited to hear about this, right? It is non-competitive grant program. What does that mean? There is no application for this grant program. That's right. There's no application for this grant program. And the purpose of the grant program focuses on housing impact grant and community impact grant. And this is specific to the community focused initiatives and to invest in high-performing nonprofit organizations that make a strong and lasting impact in our communities. We've given several of these grants out in the last 5 years, and we're continuing to do it. Actually, we just announced some winners a few weeks ago, and hopefully we'll be able to have a press release for those as well. We also participate with the state's Neighborhood Revitalization Tax Program. These are just some photos where we presented a check to the Urban League of Essex County for their amazing neighborhood revitalization tax project that was granted back in 2022. Also, Habitat for Humanity in Patterson, they're now known as Passaic County Habitat for Humanity, and we presented them also with a check in 2022. This is a great program that is ran through DCA in New Jersey, and it's coming to that season again. It's around this time we start hearing about Neighborhood Revitalization Tax Program. So please keep us in mind when you're creating your project so we can hear about it. But again, this is a program ran through the state, not through Lakeland Bank. So what have we done? What has Lakeland done in the last 5 years? We have donated $5 million to worthy causes. We also have the Ray Courts Memorial, which is Sussex County golf outing. We have donated over $1.6 million to nonprofits in Sussex County. This is one of the great programs that we have. We also have our annual scholarship golf outing that just ended a few weeks ago, where we raised over $3 million in scholarships to deserving students in New Jersey and New York. And we don't pick the students, the high school picks the students, and then we come out with a check to support them. This is something we do for each of the high schools within our footprint throughout Lakeland Bank. I think this is a great program. I think a lot of people don't know that this is something that Lakeland Bank offers, but I also want you guys to be aware of, you know, other types of opportunities where we can come and serve. If you're having a gala and we're part of your community, reach out to us. Let us know that something important is going on in the community, so then we can reach out to you. And I thought it was important for everyone here to understand where we're located. Again, we have 68 branches. And within the 68 branches, we have all these counties covered in front of you. We're in Bergen, Passaic, Morris, Somerset, Essex County, as well as Middlesex, Monmouth, Ocean, and Mercer County. So these are the counties that we serve here in the state of New Jersey. We're hoping that we can communicate more with you guys and how we can serve. Again, we have several events coming up. One again is tomorrow in Bergen County. We also have our webinar in the evening. For those who can't come out, you can join online. But again, I wanted to share all this information, not just for your clients, but for your staff. I think it's very important for you guys to be aware that sometimes our staff members, they do so much work for us. And we don't realize that, we can offer them some great information from our partners, like a financial institution at Lakeland Bank. So I wanted to share again my information, and actually take some questions if you guys have some. I went through that pretty quick, but I think it was a lot of information that you guys will find informative.
Well, that was great, Roxanne. Thank you so much. I mean, I have pages and pages of notes written down here. I'll certainly be reaching out to you too, but thank you so much. I mean, really, all those resources that the banks can provide us in the communities are really awesome. So thank you. And we've had some questions come in, but please, as we said earlier, please keep putting more into the chat box. But let me read off a few of them that have come in so far. Okay, so first of all, Roxanne, the question is, how does a nonprofit approach a bank about supporting the community? Like you mentioned, the golf outing or a 5K. How do we go about, or how do the nonprofits in general go about reaching someone at the bank? Do we call you?
Yes, I think that's a great question. Yes. And believe me, I've had nonprofits just call me directly, but I think the first step for every nonprofit to do is to see if there is a local, and I'll put that slide back on here if I can, but it's important to reach out to the local branch, because that is
Right.
the face of the community, is that local branch. To go and introduce yourself to that local branch inside, ask for the branch manager and have a conversation. Let them know what you do and how you serve your community and what events you have. And if it's the end of the year, like it is now, it's October. If you're having an event in November, December, it might be difficult for us to participate if you're a new nonprofit. So give them information about what you're doing next year, so they can then talk to their manager and say, well, look, I know we can't do anything this year, but what about 2024? That's around the corner. And if you have your calendar made up for 2024 already, this is the opportunity that you have to tell the bank, okay, well, not next month, but what about next year, next quarter? And I think that's important to have that and to share your outreach, share how many individuals you serve. I think that type of information really holds a lot to our financial institution.
Well, that is terrific. And I'm assuming that information is easily found. Just Google the location nearby and find that branch.
I put it right back on the screen. You guys can
Yep, we can see the map,
Yep.
but finding the contact we'll find.
Yes.
And another question came in specifically, you mentioned about, and this may again be something you'll say, talk to the local branch, but how do we go about asking your employees to join a board of directors or a committee? Is it again, first start with the branch, or what do you suggest with that when it comes to?
Yes, I would definitely recommend to first start with the branch, right? Because, I'm located in Hackensack. You might be located in Eatontown, New Jersey, in Monmouth County. Right. And, me serving on a board, so many miles away might be difficult, right? But we have a local branch in Monmouth County.
Right.
So we'd be able to have that branch manager, or if it's not the branch manager, it might be a commercial lender. It might be a small business banking officer. Mm-hmm. It might be, one of our chief retail officer, or it could be anyone in the executive management might have the interest to give back to the community. So I would start always with the local branch. And if there isn't a local branch too close to you, to reach out to me, because we do have a lot of back office, not just frontline employees that are interested in serving because they have the passion for it.
Okay. And then one other question came in. What kind of products does Lakeland Bank offer nonprofits?
Yeah. So that's a great question. And I think a lot of nonprofits that are looking to expand, whether if it's to get another property, or just grow their facility. We do have special lending programs for nonprofits, for organizations, for small businesses, if they're located in a low and moderate census tract area that's identified by the federal government. This includes a discounted rate significantly, a waived fee. So this is one way we can provide some form of loan to a nonprofit that is looking to expand. So yes, I would definitely, and I provided a list of the different business banking officers that are experts in the providing a lending services to a nonprofit, and it will be included in the chat, a link.
Okay, and were there any other questions in the chat?
There's one other. So there's someone who's a very new not-for-profit. Do you have special advice for them on how to get started?
Well, you're definitely in the right place, right? You're here with NJBIA, Nonprofit Council, but there's so many other organizations that kind of bring all nonprofits together. I'm actually attending an event this Friday with the Housing and Community Development Network of New Jersey, which has over 200 nonprofits there as members. And that event is called the Under One Roof. We are a sponsor for that, as well as other financial institutions. But they talk and they network together to see how they can assist each other. And, the advice is to do what you're doing right now, right? Is to be here, to engage with other nonprofits and be in part of a bigger network so you can share best practices. I think that would be, my advice for anyone who's starting out, and to involve your local branches. Like, look to see where you are, see what financial institutions are around you, and start networking with them. And also reach out to your local chambers. Chambers support nonprofits as well.
That is great advice.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Well, that's all the time we have today, Roxanne. That was really terrific. So thank you. And I know NJBIA will be sharing your PowerPoint, and this has been taped. So we'll all be getting a tape so we can review it and write down some notes and get going. And I want to thank you, Roxanne, so much for coming on today, as well as everybody who took the time this morning to learn a little bit more about the banking partnerships out there and how essential they are to our success. So thank you again, Roxanne, and to everybody that came on this morning.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Roxanne. That was great. I have to say that when we talked about this presentation, I had no idea how many resources a bank could actually provide to a local nonprofit. So I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And we do have one more quick thank you again, just as a reminder to our very important partnerships against Associate Member Trust, Citizens Bank, DCM Associates, Focus New Jersey, Horizon, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Nisavachia, NJBIA HR Support, and our New Jersey Business Magazine, again, for helping to make all this educational programming possible. And if any of you think you'd like to be a speaker, like we just had with Roxanne, please let us know. We are currently filling out for the rest of the program year, and we'll be looking ahead to next year. Any topics that you think will be relevant to our wonderful nonprofit audience, and then those businesses too that want to be doing more and more in that space of reaching out and helping their community. And I don't know if we have time to stick around for some networking, but if anybody wants to stay on, it's 9:35 now. If you have to jump, we totally understand. And we thank you all for joining us today.